This is the landing stage, Rhys. I think probably we went further along there. There's some of the stones are missing now.
Well, this thing here. Oh, yeah. You can see, it goes into that bush, eh?
Yeah. Then the road
sort
of went straight up from here.
The process of extinction began here, at Risdon Cove, near present-day Hobart, when on the 13th of September 1803, the first British settlement was established in Tasmania. There were 49 people, including 8 soldiers and 26 convicts. The convicts had to build a road up the hill. As well as keeping out the French and securing access to the seals, the British wanted Tasmania as yet another place for dumping criminals. Up the road, the convicts had to pull 2 carronades from the ship. These were to be loaded with grape shot and used against the convicts if they gave trouble. The cannon were placed on top of the hill and were only used when the colony had its first encounter with the Aborigines.
You know, see this map here? You reckon we're on that hill like that, see?
Yeah, that was where Bowen was, the commandant's tent.
Yeah.
And the garden stretched up in that direction.
Yeah, see that?
And then there were huts down there for the soldiers.
Yeah.
And the convicts...
On the 3rd of May, 1804, 8 months after the settlement was founded, some 300 Aborigines, men, women and children, suddenly appeared pursuing kangaroos.
You reckon they came over that long ridge there and just poured in, kind of just coming over, like just like this, eh?
Yeah.
And into that defile, like a natural trap.
And if you didn't know what they were doing, of course, it'd be a pretty frightening experience.
What followed has become known as the Risdon Massacre. There are no pictures. Testimonies are few and contradictory. The official report is a blatant attempt to cover up.
Yeah, you've got to go to the terrain itself to try and imagine what really happened. There was one account that the Aborigines were about to engulf the settlement, but that clearly couldn't have been the case. I mean, the settlement is sitting right on top of this hill, which totally commands the valley in front of it. This is one of the interesting things, that the Aborigines never got closer to the British than the range of a cannon shot. I mean, those 2 cannons totally command that little valley. There's an account of the man in charge that he was drunk, that he wanted to see the niggers run, as he said. That this was a sort of a show of force, and we can imagine that show of force delivered from that hill into that field. On the other side, the Aboriginal side, they're sweeping across this little field, and they see suddenly, for the first time in their lives, little black figures on that hill. And they see perhaps little tents and 2 little black objects, which in a matter of a few seconds is to smash their hunting party to smithereens.
50 or 60 Aborigines fell, dead and wounded. Several of the bodies were placed in casks, preserved in spirit and sent back to England for dissection.